Hey, good morning, Colonel Pate.
Good morning. Good morning. I was just getting ready to. I'm in the middle of sending a chat to kind of give you a sit rep, but I'll go ahead and tell you guys. So some of you folks I already know. Lieutenant Colonel retired Jason Pape. I'm the senior Army instructor at Prince George High School, JROTC. I was at Hopewell for the last 3 years, and that's the capacity that I know most of you folks in. Good to see Brownsy on here. How you doing, buddy? And like I said, I moved to Prince George this summer. I've also got my daughter with me, Alexis. She just started JROTC over at Thomas Dale. So I've got her sitting on with me this morning. Not sure how many of our JROTC cadets are going to be on just because of the short notice, and a lot of them work on the weekend. So I put it out to them, and I'm hoping at least a few of them get on here. But I have some things that I can talk to your RU about on their behalf. And I don't know if you have your National Guard recruiter on here as well, but we do have a couple of seniors who are going through the ROTC scholarship application process. A couple of them that are interested in the SMP option. And so even if they don't get on here, I'd love to ask you some questions. And then I know you guys are kind of intending this as an enduring mentorship program. And so we'll figure out how we're going to do that consistently from here on out.
Great.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I can answer the SMP questions when we get to that. Sergeant Casey has a prior commitment, so we could talk later.
All right, Sergeant Major, good to see you again.
Good seeing you too. I heard you moved.
Yeah, it's hard to lay low with something like that.
I know.
Well, better.
A question for the audience. Of those currently on the call, how many are in JROTC? I'm tracking Cadet Wiseman. Anyone else? All right. So the time is currently 08:34. 8:35, we're going to go ahead and commence. We'll begin with introductions. Start off with Colonel Harris, Colonel Black, followed by Sergeant Major Orth and Colonel Harris, and then we'll transition over to the panel introduction. We're going in alphabetical order. So Brownsy, Bird, Sergeant Camden, Johnson, and Marlon Lincoln, followed by the cadets. I'll go over it again at this time. Hey, sir, Colonel Black, any opening comments?
Hey, appreciate that, Captain SQ. This is Lieutenant Colonel Forrest Black for those personnel. Me, I am the 27th professor of military science here at Virginia State University. First off, thank you so much to the Military Alumni Association for putting this forum on. We hope that this is an enduring effort, that we can continue to reach out to cadets and draw on mentorship and the capabilities of our military personnel that are actually serving right now and those retired. A little bit about me. I hail from Hampton, Virginia. I'm a 2000 Norfolk State grad. Please don't hold that against me. A few of you guys already keep joking me about it. Captain Askew, Major Lil John. But hey, I'm excited to be here as your 27th professor of military science here at Virginia State University. Had a little bit of overseas experience. Served in both Iraq and Afghanistan twice, and been in just shy of 20 years right now. So I enjoy what I do. I've been here about 4 months, and I've already had a great time interacting with the cadets. Actually have an event today, in a few hours, a 12-miler that our cadets are partaking in, our seniors, getting ready for commissioning. So with that said, I will go ahead and pass it over to Keitha Orth, our RU, so she can introduce herself as well. And thank you, Captain Askew.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. As Colonel Black said, my name is Keitha Orth. I am the Virginia State Recruiting Operations Officer. I have been the ROO since May 2018. I was hired by Colonel Dave Johnson. A little bit about me. I retired 2016 after 26 years. I retired as a Sergeant Major right here at Fort Lee. My background for the last 13 years of my military career has been recruiting and retention. So when I was given the opportunity to be the recruiter for an ROTC department, I knew that's where my fit was, because for me, I love helping others achieve something bigger than themselves in whatever capacity it is. As the ROO, I really enjoy meeting with the cadets. They call me Mama. But it's just, I really love being at Virginia State, where I can see all these kids grow. But thank you. And I'm not sure who I'm going to be followed by right now.
Colonel Harris, Mel.
Yes, yes. Well, good morning, everyone. First of all, I do want to thank Ty and Eric. Just a wonderful thing that you all are doing. I know maybe the participation is not where you want it, but considering the effort and what we want to do and the ability for it to extend, I just want to commend you all for the great things. But first of all, I want to say my name is Michael J. Harris. I am a colonel, retired, year group 1980. I served for almost 28 years, and I'm bringing greetings from the Virginia State Military Alumni Association as its president, and also on behalf of my classmate and friend, personal friend, General Vi. But I want to thank Joe Guy, who's our vice president for alumni membership. But as I said, especially Ty and Eric for just jumping in there and making it work. And most of all, really, Lieutenant Colonel Forrest Black and Sergeant Major, thank you both. I know so many other people were involved. What we're about to do this morning and continuing on is so important. I tell people, whether they don't realize it or not, there are two important things to, I think, being successful in life. One is a strong faith, which, many have, and I think you have to have. But the second thing is mentorship. And I can say that from being a high school student who graduated with honors and a college student who graduated with honors and got a scholarship in the Army and was able to achieve the rank of colonel in the Army. I've been married for 40 years. My wife and I just celebrated our 40th wedding anniversary. It's all about mentorship. And today I run a IT company that's one of the most successful around. And so it was all about mentorship, doing the right thing, having that strong faith, and then being able to get tidbits from people of all the places I served. I served as a brigade and battalion commander overseas. I've been deployed. But in all of that, for me, it was all about people. I'm a former adjutant general corps officer, so I know the importance of focusing on soldiers and focusing on people. And a lot of people forget that. So what we're doing this morning and continuing on, this mentorship is so important. It doesn't matter whether you need that mentorship to be a senior officer, need it for your marriage, need it for your financial health, need it, whatever it is. The key is finding people who are doing great things in the area that you want to pursue and making sure you stay in contact. That's how you get to be, I think, successful. So to all of you, hats off. I'm looking forward to it. And that's enough for me. I'm going to turn it over to.
So I'll start off with introductions. Hey, good morning again, Captain Askew. I'll tell you, we've been looking forward to this for a while now, and we apologize. Initially, it was going to happen during homecoming, but we have to push it to the right. But you know what? It's actually happening. We're here. My MOS, I'm a current signal officer down here at Fort Stewart, Georgia. For those who know, I'm a dog-faced soldier. I've been a platoon leader, XO, deployed as a battle captain at DSST OIC, served as a company commander for 26 months, and now I'm the brigade S6. So I really enjoy what I'm doing, but furthermore, as everyone alluded to, I enjoy being here for the cadets. When I say cadets, ROTC, specifically JROTC cadets as well. Hey, as you prepare to make that transition from high school to adulthood, moving out your parents' house and moving into your own, this is what this is for, right? Those of you who are interested in the military, we want to provide any guidance or answer any questions you may have. I'll tell you, America is the greatest country on this earth, and that servicemen and servicewomen, we preserve that, all right? I'll say that again. This is the greatest country on earth, and it's up to us, those who volunteer in the armed forces, service members, to preserve that. So I'll tell you, the military is life-changing. You get in what you put out. All right. I'll be followed by Lieutenant Brownsie, and then we'll transition over to Lieutenant Byrd. Hey, with such a small population, I'm gonna give everyone an opportunity to introduce themselves. So start off, Lieutenant Brownsie.
Good morning, everybody. I am Second Lieutenant Brownsie. I'm currently here at Fort Benning, Georgia for IBOLIC. I have been a battalion S1, S2, and S3 and 4. Due to me snowbirding before IBOLIC, so I kind of understand a little bit of the S shop. I went to Virginia State as a mechanical engineering major, and Hopewell High School. I graduated in 2015 from Hopewell High School and graduated in 2019 at Virginia State. I've been in roughly 6 years since high school. I did a split ops program when I was 17. And then from there, kind of after I graduated high school, I did AIT and went straight into college and did ROTC. So roughly about 6 years. Still trying to get that paperwork right because the Army kind of plays. But other than that,
Hey, Cadet Wiseman, I see your hand raised. Please, we're gonna go through
I have a question for Mr. Brownsley.
what's up? What can I help you with?
Are you Chinese?
I'm not Chinese. I am Asian. I am Thai from like Thailand. Taiwanese.
That's cool.
All right, we're gonna continue on with the introductions. Hey, Wiseman, I appreciate you raising your hand. Let's go ahead and transition to Lieutenant Byrd.
How y'all doing today? I'm Second Lieutenant Byrd. Graduated from Virginia State in 2019. Currently stationed at Fort Hood, Texas. 12 Alpha engineer. I got 4 years in service. I started ROTC my freshman year. Ended up joining the National Guard and graduated through SMP. Got active duty. Right now, I'm currently working in the battalion S shop, in the 3 shop. Do co-ops, which is current operations, and sometimes I'm the battle captain. So that's somewhat what I do.
We'll be followed by the backbone of the Army, Sergeant Cannon.
Well, how you doing? My name is Hakeem Cannon, Staff Sergeant Cannon. 92 Yankee. I'm active duty. Currently stationed at Fort Lindenwood. I've been in the Army for about 7.5 years. As an NCO, we're pretty much that mesh to bring all the officers, warrant officers, civilians, cadets. We pretty much hold everything together. That's why they call us the backbone. So whenever you need any actual work done, we're probably going to be the first ones to do it. I've actually got a bachelor's in management. I'm currently studying for MBA, strategic management and supply chain management. So just because I'm an NCO does not mean I'm not educated. My current job right now, I'm supply sergeant, which means I pretty much handle all logistics, ingoing, outgoing of any equipment. I'm also partial operations sergeant and partial human resources sergeant. I have a couple hats. My first line said I could do a lot of jobs, so I'm going to do it. And I also went to Korea for about 2 years. It was a great experience out there. If you got an opportunity to go active duty, I strongly encourage to do so. You get to see the entire world, and everyone there will show you a lot of love. So I love the Army. That's all I got. I'm gonna let the next panel go.
We'll be followed by Cadet Daniels and then Cadet De Leon, 2 current Virginia State University cadets.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Bethany Daniel. I am a current junior / MS3 cadet at Virginia State University. I'm also majoring in mass communications. My plan after I graduate Virginia State is to commission as a Army officer into the signal as a signal officer, and yeah, that's my plans.
Cadet De Leon.
Good morning, everyone. So Cadet De Leon, currently active duty, doing the Green and Gold Active Duty Option Program. Been in the Army 8 years now as a staff sergeant. 91 Fox, small arms artillery repair. So basically, I work with every kind of weapons from an M9 all the way to a 777 howitzer. I'm currently in Fort Lee. I've done everything from operationals to generating force assignments, including NCOIC, platoon sergeant, motor sergeant, instructor, and a training developer. I've actually deployed to Afghanistan, Kuwait, Syria, and Thailand. and currently MS3, majoring in criminal justice at VSU.
Thank you. We followed by Lieutenant Johnson, who's currently in Hawaii.
Hey, I'm Lieutenant Johnson, 112 Alpha Engineer Officer. I'm stationed at Fort Hood, but I'm just on leave in Hawaii. So I'm currently a platoon leader. I spent 10 months in the 3 shop as an assistant plans officer, and that's about it.
Followed by Cadet Julian.
Hello, I'm Cadet Julian. I'm a graduating senior next semester. My major is sociology, minor in social work. I'm an MS4. I'll be going to training after I graduate to continue to get my job, MOS vocation for when I graduate.
Captain Kirby.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Captain Kirby. I'm stationed at Eglin Air Force Base with 7th Special Forces Group. Serve as the battalion S4, responsible for all the equipment in the battalion in a $1.6 million budget. I'm a graduated 2013 criminal justice. Yeah, happy to talk to everyone and see everybody's face. Airborne.
What about Lieutenant Lincoln?
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Mylan Lincoln, First Lieutenant. I am a 11 Alpha Infantry Officer, currently Nevada Army National Guard 1221 Cav. Coming up on year 4 of my service, and I've done everything from being a light infantry PL all the way up to, scout platoon leader, tank company XO, and I'm currently a recon troop XO right now. And I've also had opportunities to be attached to 11th ACR as OP4 to ride around the box, as they say, and graduated with political science and public administration degree, and I'm studying for nursing school right now. So I stay busy when I'm not serving. So Queen of Battle.
You followed by Cadet Miller.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Second Lieutenant Siobhan Miller. I just graduated from Virginia State in 2016 with my bachelor's, and then 2020, so just recently with my master's. I'm a branch quartermaster. I'll be starting BOLIC in March, and then I'll be off to South Korea, Camp Casey.
Cadet Nivens.
Hello, everyone. My name is Cadet Nicole Nivens. I'm a MS4 in my senior year at Virginia State University, studying criminal justice psychology double major. I am also a North Carolina National Guard specialist, been in for 6 years now. Just recently got back from deployment from Kuwait, first deployment, and I am a 12 Bravo combat engineer, the first female combat engineer in my unit. And that's really great to be here today.
Cadet Spence.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Cadet Trayvon Spence, sophomore criminal justice major of the Trojan, also an MS2 of the Trojan Warrior Battalion. Prior to college, I did 3 years of Air Force JROTC. So for the cadets who are the JROTC cadets that's in the chat, I've been in your shoes before. Also, after college, I plan on commissioning as an officer in the ordnance or either military police. That's all.
Lieutenant Chestnut.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Chestnut. I am Second Lieutenant 42 Bravo, which is an HR officer, human resources. I'm in the Virginia National Guard, stationed in Stanton, Virginia, but I live at Fort Stewart, Georgia. So I split train here in Georgia. So in Virginia, I'm a brigade staff manager, but here I'm a maintenance PL. And I have no overseas experience working, but I'm a military brat. So that aided to me wanting to be, to join the military. And I went to 3 different high schools in 3 different countries due to being a military brat.
Check. And the last we want to introduce, so he's a senior, he's a field grade officer. However, he was instrumental in the planning of this. So Major Little John.
Hey, how y'all doing today? My name is Major Eric Littlejohn. I am currently stationed at Tobyhanna Army Depot, up in Tobyhanna, Pennsylvania, near Scranton. I am a commander of a company command that's a battalion level equivalent, running a schoolhouse as well as a little bit of depot activity up here. Essentially mean is I run reclassification training for all components, active duty, guard, and reserves for 5 different signal corps, so IT and communications, military occupational specialties. My overseas experience is I've been deployed, I believe now a little over about 5 or 6 times to various countries: Turkey, Kuwait, Afghanistan, Iraq, Jordan, Syria, Turkey. I think I said Turkey twice because I went there twice. But I've got a diverse set of experience overseas, and have operated both on the active component and now as an AGR reserve officer. My background is I'm from DC originally, moved down to Atlanta, took JROTC. So for you, you can make it too. And we can get a little bit more into my background as the discussion proceeds forward. I ended up at Virginia State University commissioning out, and here we are. All right, Ty, thanks.
Hey, so once again, hey, the focus for the JROTC cadets, you all that are in high school. So the panel is very diverse right now, but to answer your questions, we have 5 current Virginia State University cadets, as well as 5 company grade leaders from Virginia State University. So any questions you may have, please feel free to ask. I see, let's say Malachi Jefferson, JROTC cadet. We see Mimi Wiseman, JROTC cadet. Mr. Markel Bill, you JROTC as well?
No, sir. ROTC at Virginia State.
Okay, well, I miss you. Hey, Cadet Wiseman, thanks for leading off with the first question. Go ahead.
It's not a question. I'm correcting my name. It's May.
Oh, my apologies, May.
It's all right.
Malachi, May, you're only 2. So as of now, you get to ask all the questions you want. Who wants to start off?
I really don't have any questions. So I've been in contact with an Army recruiter. Okay. So I just finished taking my PCAT test and did my verification test, and I got a 55. So she has offered me jobs. I want to go into infantry.
Okay.
And I want to be a ranger. I want to have a ranger contract. So she gave me a 11 X-ray. She's giving me 11 X-ray contract. So I have an option to do ranger when I'm getting in. So in like the next week or so, I'm gonna be signing my contract to join. So I'm pretty excited about that.
It's a blessing. Hey, so we have 2 infantry officers online right now. We have 1 infantry officer, Lieutenant Marlon Lincoln, who's currently executing a warfighter. And we have another infantry officer who's down at Fort Benning doing his IBOL, his infantry basic officer leadership course. So hey, I want to ask you 2 to share any advice or tips for Cadet Jefferson as he prepares on his journey to become an infantryman.
Well, just some advice I would give to you. Make sure it's something that you really want to do, because you're going to get physically tested and mentally stressed. You're not going to have sleep. You're not going to eat, and you're going to be irritable a lot of the times. But I will say this, being an infantry officer and being in the infantry, you get direct contact with soldiers all the time. It's one of the things that I take pride in, coming from Virginia State. As an African-American officer, they told us those were jobs that we weren't able to perform. So being an infantry officer, being directly in charge of soldiers, guiding and mentoring them, I take great pride in that every day. It allows you to be versatile. I started out as a light infantry PL. Now I work with tanks and Bradleys and all kinds of different mechanized equipment. So you're versatile. You learn a lot of different things. And then one other thing I would tell you is just to continue to research your other options. Infantry is cool, but some people can do it forever. Other people can't. So figure out what it is that you're really passionate about, and how the Army and the infantry can get you there. So.
Lieutenant Brownsy.
So as an infantryman, I realized like you're gonna be put in positions that is not in your field, whether it be S4 or S1, and you just have to be able to adapt and learn. But at the same time, like going through IBOL, they really go in depth with teaching you how to plan accordingly and do all the infantry tactics, which you're going to learn if you go through basic training and everything and become an infantryman. They really harp on Ranger School and putting you through that stress that is going to test you, because I mean anybody can go through a training perfectly fine, right? But once they put that stress onto you and that sleep deprivation, it really shows who you are, right? Because I mean, I've met plenty of people who kind of change up who they are when they're sleep deprived or they're stressed, so they turn differently. So you got to be able to handle yourself and control yourself when you go through this type of stressful interactions. And through Ranger School, I mean, there's plenty of advice I've gotten, because I haven't gone through it yet. Ranger School is definitely one of those schools you want to be you and go through it like very how can I explain that? Like, you're gonna be stressed, you're gonna be sleep deprived, you're gonna fall asleep standing up, you're gonna fall asleep walking, you're gonna fall asleep like just looking down. It's gonna be very hard and difficult through Ranger School, and it's one of those things like it's the hardest school because they put you through the test. Right? They don't teach you anything, but they put you through a test, and you have to be able to just accomplish it. You're gonna be put with op orders, and you're gonna be put with missions at late at night with nods on. You got to be able to just push through whatever they do. You got to be able to be there, the battle buddy that everybody can rely on, right? As an infantryman, we are the queen of battle, so we gotta be in there, all right? It's very.
I think to sum up too what Lieutenant Brownsy was saying is it's a serious gut check. But if you succeed and you get through it, you know that whatever life throws at you, you can accomplish anything. You can succeed. Being in the military, any branch, there's tough times. So, take pride in wanting to go in, learn what you can, and then apply that to your life, because there's going to come a time where you're not in the military anymore. And life is hard. You got to get up, you got to pay bills, you got to take care of family, got to go to work every day. And that's stressful too. So.
Cadet Jefferson, I'm not an infantryman by any means, right? But I would submit to you that what you're doing is very admirable. And being an infantryman, it requires the best of the best, but also something to take into consideration. You haven't signed your contract yet. I don't want to change your plans. I just want you to think about this. You can definitely join the National Guard as an infantryman while being an ROTC cadet. So when you do go out there and lead, you spend your first 4 years at the enlisted level, and you can start off as a private on the team and eventually become a team leader. And at one point, you may become a squad leader, depending on how hard you push yourself. But by the time you graduate, you'll go into your first platoon as the platoon leader. Once again, it takes a special type of man or woman to serve as an infantryman. And you already are making that first step. So I encourage you to think about making the next step, right? Enlisting, but also look at the ROTC route as well. You can lead as an NCO, you can lead as an officer. The Army needs both, and both are specialized and very appreciated in what they do. The choice is really yours. But with that being said, we have a Cadet De Leon, who was green to go, which means he served as an enlisted soldier. He was a staff sergeant before he made the transition, and now he's in the process of becoming a lieutenant. We have Specialist Nivens, who's currently serving in the National Guard while she's working on her path to commissioning. Hey, you two have any advice for Malika?
All I would have to say is I've had soldiers go to Special Forces training, apply for Ranger School. I actually had a soldier who applied 3 times, went 3 times and got kicked out. What I would say is that, just like everyone said, mentally prepare yourself is the biggest challenge you're gonna face, as well as being physically fit. You can't just be complacent. Okay, that's gonna kill your motivation. That's gonna bring you down. So you always need to be thriving to accomplish what they put out for you. Always have a positive mindset. That's what's gonna get you through the hard times and the challenges that they're gonna face. But I wish you all the best luck, and hopefully you make it, and hopefully I see you somewhere around the Army.
Thank you.
Anything you want to add, Cadet Nevins, on life as a enlisted soldier while working on your college degree, on your path to commissioning?
Personally, my path was a little, as a cadet and as a enlisted soldier, was a little strange, just because, like I said, I've been in since 2014. I've been in for 6 years. Military was something that I thought I was going to put second to my education, but this is a really big commitment. Even if you decide to go active duty, National Guard, Reserve, it's a big commitment. The military has definitely come first before education. A lot of times, just because of my MOSs and my MOS changes, going back and forth between 25 series and 12 series. It was a lot of training, definitely tough, as far as anything infantry, anything combat, MOS wise. I know that you want to be a ranger. I know that you want to be infantry. That is something, going to OSUT is something that's going to be very different from other people that are going, say, signals, say anything combat supports. It's mentally demanding, physically demanding. If you can do that and you can balance school at the same time, I commend you. You were definitely one of the people who don't choose the easy way of doing things. You choose a different path, and that is very commendable. That is very honorable. I believe that if you truly think that you can do this, if you want to become a ranger and you are this young, having that tenacity, I believe that you can do it, as long as you put your goals first and remember what you want your outcome to be. Just make a solid decision, put forth your best effort, and make sure you just get it done. So, like I said, congratulations. I really commend you. And I think you'll be really great.
Thank you.
Hey, Tyra, can I add on?
One thing I would add is, the purpose of this program. So if you can, I think, Ty, forward me his contact information. I can, we have in our alumni rangers, right? And so I think the best situation is to make sure we put him in touch with someone who's been to Ranger School and graduated from Ranger School. So he has that mentorship, which is sort of what this is all about. So, I will lay that out there. If you send me his contact information, I'll make sure we put a military alumni in touch with him who's been where he wants to be or go.
And Malachi, now the perfect person. He was a year group ahead of me. I looked at him as a mentor. His name is Godfrey Gaskins. He's a Ranger.
Okay. Great.
Fourth Parachute Infantry Regiment. He was airborne. He's Arctic. He's someone you definitely can speak with, and he can help guide you along this process if you want to reconsider enlisting and consider doing the both routes. Either way, Malachi, you can do it. Like, you got your mind set on it, and that's life in general. You got your mind set on it. You say something you want to do. You can do this. You can and you will. And we want to help you every step of the way. Hey, Mrs. Orth?
Yes, hi. It's Malachi, quick question. What year group are you right now?
In JROTC?
Yes, in school.
4.
Well, no, are you a junior, senior, sophomore?
I'm a senior. I'm a senior right now.
Okay, you're a senior. So you're working with the Army Reserve or Guard?
I'm working with regular Army. I'm working with regular Army recruiter.
So from what I'm understanding, you're looking to just enlist right after high school. You're not looking at coming to college. Is that what I'm understanding?
My plan was to do college while I was in the Army. So yes, as soon as I graduate, I'm going in.
Okay, so what you're looking at is the reserve component, not active duty if you're trying to be a full-time student. So I'm going to put my information in the chat box. because I can definitely assist you in that journey, and I know who your recruiter is, and we can get together just to make sure you're squared away and you understand the process, especially if you're trying to do S&P and how all this works. So I'll put all my information in the chat room, and then we can talk offline. Sounds good?
Major,
All right.
if I could interject, I could be wrong. I could be completely off base here, but I think this is a good example of where there's still just a lot of confusion about what it means to join the military, or even when you're talking to a recruiter and you're a senior in high school. So to me, what Malachi described is he's talking to a recruiter right now about an active duty infantry contract. And he's of the impression that he's going to be able to do that and go to college once he gets done with his initial training and gets to a unit. And Malachi, a lot of folks do that. A lot of folks join the military with that impression. And the truth of the matter is, and there's probably a lot of people on here who can talk more personally to that, but the truth is a lot of that depends on the job you go into. And as an infantryman, you do not have many opportunities to work on your college while also fulfilling your active duty contract for 4 years. Now, sometimes folks like DeLeon do that and then eventually get to the point where they're able to transition green to gold. But that's definitely something to talk to folks about, is as an active duty infantryman, particularly if I'm going Ranger Regiment, whatever, how much time am I really going to have to work on college versus some of these other options that folks have started to talk about, National Guard, reserves, et cetera, where you could do both.
Hey, sir, just real quick, if I can interject, as Lieutenant Colonel Pape said, I would take the time just to talk to Mrs. Orth and take a look. You can do both. You know, sometimes it was me going to college first and then becoming an infantry officer. I think that's the best way. I was in your shoes. My first year of college, I wanted to enlist as an 11 Bravo, and I thought that I could come back and go to school. But luckily, I had mentors, like Colonel Harris said, that said, "Hey, you know what? Stay in school, study hard, and then you can become an infantry officer." And I was able to do both. So I would just take a look. I'm not saying don't enlist if that's really what you want to do, but talk to Miss Orth, sit down and have a conversation and look at what it is you really want to accomplish. Because once you sign that contract, you'll go to OSA, and you can be gone somewhere across the world for 9 months, a year, and then you can't go to college until you come back. So.
And that's why I wanted to kind of put that out there with his recruiter, because I'm a former street recruiter, and depending on how Malachi approached the recruiter, he's looking at putting this student in boots right now, when in essence, if Malachi wants to go to college, we have to go a different route. Not saying he can't achieve it all, but I'm just very particular when it comes to recruiters, because I've been on that side. That's why I want to talk to him, and we can go through all this, because right now the recruiter may be chomping at the bit to put him in boots right now. So Malachi, I just sent my information.
Yep, I got it. I took a picture of it.
Okay, great. We need to talk. I just want to make sure you understand everything about first of all, what your goals are and how we can help you achieve it. Sounds good?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, no problem.
And the last thing, obviously, funding and monies is always a concern. And one of the things that the military alumni is going to do and will be doing is helping to, provide scholarship opportunities for cadets coming into the ROTC program. Just because you're coming into the ROTC program, and obviously if you graduated from high school, your GPA and acceptance to Virginia State is going to be good enough. So I know sometimes that's a concern, right? That's why people want to go directly into the Army, because there's a salary, there's a gap that, and to go to college, there's some stress there. But just to let you know, part of what we're trying to do with the Military Alumni Association is to help people just like yourself bridge that with some assistance. So for me, this session has already achieved wonderful success, because I think this is exactly what we're trying to do.
Sure. It is, sir. And I will ask Sergeant Cannon. So Malachi, just a real world experience who lives it every day. Sergeant Cannon is an active duty Army Staff Sergeant who's working on his master's degree while serving full time. So Sergeant Cannon, can you please?
Yes, sir. Hey, so honestly, I'm coming from a different perspective, and I really want to know, Malachi, what is your driving force for actually even looking to the military? Is it so that you don't have to go into the military this soon, right after high school? Is it just so that you don't want to go to college, or Is it just so you can just go ahead and start getting paid early? I just want to know, what is your driving force?
So my grandfather, my great grandfather, everybody was in the military, and they were non-commissioned officers in the U.S. Army. And it really impacted me when my father came home. I didn't see him for like 2 years, and my mom, she told us we was going to the grocery store, ended up going to the airport and seeing him, and that really impacted me. It made me want to make a difference, because he made a difference, but he sadly got medically discharged from the Army after like year 2. So yeah, I just want to serve my country, and when the benefits come, they come, but really it's just for me serving and making a difference. It's not really the benefits. The benefits are there, but they're not something that's really key for me to join.
Okay, I think I understand. So based on what Captain Askew was just saying before, so I am currently enlisted. I'm a staff sergeant in the Army, and what Sergeant Major Orth was describing earlier. So recruiters are going to be like pretty aggressive of wanting to get you into the Army, but they're probably not going to tell you everything that you need to know. So with that being said, so I went into the Army as an enlisted man, but I also knew that I needed to get my education as well, which is education is probably one of the most important things in life. And I'll just go ahead and emphasize that right now. As an enlisted man, there's a lot of time where I am talking to commissioned officers or other NCOs, and those who do not have that educational background don't have a pathway outside of the military. So you want to set up something, set up your future. So even though if you come in as an enlisted man, say you come in as an E1 private, you still want to be able to set up your future so that if you do want to go commission, then you can be able to do that. But you won't be able to, like, for example, I'm going to OCS. I should be going to OCS very soon. OCS is Officer Candidate School. Basically saying, when I joined the military, I wanted to come in pretty much like how you said. I wanted to come in right away, make an impact, become part of something bigger. But then I also realized, like, I still need to get my education, and I'm going to give it to you cut and dry. Commissioned officer just so happen to make more money, So at the end of the day, I got to take care of my family too. So when I put in my packet for OCS, Officer Candidate School, I got selected. So ultimately speaking, I can still do what I want to do, but I can also get paid to do the same thing at a higher rate. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was my thing. I didn't know, like, because I want to support myself and I don't want to rely on nobody. So when I first get out of high school, I want to be independent. And I didn't know if I took the going to college route first, that I wouldn't be getting paid like I would if I went active duty as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's one of the things I probably just got a little confused about.
So active duty, you're going to get paid 1st and 15th without a shadow of doubt. Government can get shut down. Guess what? You're still getting your pay, but they have to pay you is that way because of the contract. With that being said, you also have to consider the fact that education, like I said, is important. So if I were you, based on what I understand from the panel members as well, I would get with Sergeant Major Orth and also start find like a little game plan. Like, I understand you probably want to still go active duty. I'm not discouraging that at all. But I also want you to look into some type of educational paths. So you can say, well, if I can't do physical location education, maybe I can do online schooling, which is something I'm doing now. And then find your way so that once you graduate with your online school, then you can say, you know what, my worth has dramatically grown just because of this degree. And then when you want to go and say, just because you're an infantry ranger does not mean you can't be an infantry ranger officer. You see what I'm saying? You can continue doing what you're doing, but you will make significantly more pay. As an O1E, you're going to get almost like $1,000 more a month. I'm just going to give it to you as honest as possible. As an O1E, which is a second lieutenant who was prior enlisted, you're going to get almost $1,000 more a month just because you're an officer now. Does that make sense? So by all means, I definitely want you to get in contact with Sergeant Major Orth. Definitely get in contact. Colonel Harris has some good information for you for the Military Alumni Association. He said he has some good Ranger buddies in there who can give you some good mentorship and guidance. This is a great opportunity for you. And I can go ahead and tell you, as an enlisted man, you're already like 20 steps ahead of me from where I was in your shoes now. So congratulations. I hope the best for you. I know you're going to do very well.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Malachi, again, we're going to follow up. I'm so serious. I have the perfect person that you can talk to. And we know it's bigger than pay. You want to serve your country, but that's something to take into consideration, as well as the opportunity. As a young enlisted soldier, I was making about $750 every 2 weeks. And then our commission, I was making $2,200 every 2 weeks. No exaggeration, right? And there's multiple ways to do it. So when we have that conversation, and when you talk to people offline, they'll tell you. I remember being a cadet at Virginia State. This is before I even got a stipend. I was making about $300 every month for drill. Additionally, I had scholarships coming in, and then you'll get refund checks, and that's something that we can talk about additionally offline. But I know we have May up here and JROTC Cadet Aja Lee. Cadet Lee, May, did y'all have any questions?
No, I didn't.
Okay. May? Okay, I don't think she's online. All right, so from the cadets that are online, we do know they have ambition and they want to serve in the military. As they prepare mentally for basic training, BCT, basic combat training, AIT, and advanced individual training, or just simply talking to the recruiter, any tips, any advice?
Hey, Cap, may I ask you, Colonel Pape here, if I could just talk about a couple of things real quick while we gather our thoughts. First, I'm sorry for stealing the mic, but first I want to take a step back and say what an amazing program you guys have at Virginia State. My last 4 years in the Army, I was a PMS out in Washington State. So I've seen a lot of ROTC, and I've never seen mentorship like you guys do it at Virginia State. I mean, it's so impressive. I feel privileged that I was able to participate in activities that you guys have done over the last few years with General Hamilton, General Vi, Colonel Harris. But this thing that you guys have going on where you're able to put cadets, prospective cadets in touch with older cadets or people in the Army that are doing what they think that they want to do is just phenomenal. Whereas at most programs, it's a PMS or a RU that is, trying to represent everything, every possibility in the Army, as opposed to what you guys do, where you're able to put people in touch with the ones who are actually doing it. So I think it's amazing. Right now, I'm in a position where we've got multiple seniors that are looking at either enlisting in the Guard or Reserves, a few of them active duty, or applying for the scholarships, or those things all at the same time. And I feel pretty good and confident about talking about the scholarship process and simultaneous membership, Minuteman, that type of thing, where somebody's going to ultimately commission Reserve or National Guard. The gray area in the middle is where I'm struggling, and I need a little bit of help, maybe from somebody who's gone down this path. For example, I have a cadet right now who's a senior who is already committed to the Virginia National Guard, but wants to go to college, and one of her top three is Virginia State, wants to go to college, wants to do ROTC, wants to go active duty, right? So normally that would require a change or an adjustment in the contract at some point in time to allow her to then assess active duty if she hasn't finished her National Guard 6-year contract yet by that time, right? So I'm just wondering how often you've seen that happen, how easy that is to make happen. And sorry, Major, you already know what I'm saying, so go ahead.
Sir, if she is looking to enlist in the Guard or Reserve to help pay for college, she can exactly do that. Basic training AIT, start the fall or whenever, pay for college. She can remain in the Guard or Reserve and drill while she's in college. And also when she formally contracts, she will now be a member of the SMP program. If that cadet gets active duty, then her contract just switches over when she graduates. If she gets active duty. If she signs a Minuteman scholarships, she is dedicated to the Guard or Reserves for the entire military service obligation of 8 years. That is not waiverable. So if she wants to compete for active duty, as the RU, I talk to everybody to see what their goals are, because if they want to stay in the Guard or Reserves because they're going on to their master's program or they have a job and they don't want to be thrown into the competition realm, we can sign a guaranteed guard or contract. So if she wants to go active duty, she can do that and still be in the guard the whole time she's in college.
Right, and so it doesn't matter when her end date is on that guard or reserve contract, as long as she's just remained straight SMP and doesn't take a GRFD or a Minuteman scholarship. It's
Her
just,
MSO will get adjusted once she commissions, sir.
right. I just want to make sure I'm clear on that part, though. The big thing is if somebody is SMP and wants the additional financial assistance of a scholarship, they are essentially committing themselves to then commissioning guard or reserves at the end. But if they just stay straight SMP, just use their guard and DA benefits for school, then at commissioning time or sessions time, they have the option of choosing or of competing for active duty. And her
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir. And the key thing is, and because of COVID, Virginia State hasn't had the luxury of having the freshman orientations where I really get to interact with them. But as freshmen, it's where it starts. If they want to be competitive, those GPAs will weigh into all of that. GPAs, college participation, participation ROTC. So it's more than just come into class. You have to come, you have to perform. So yes, absolutely. And then, like I said, as the RU, I get to know, and these guys can tell you, I ask them, I'm checking their interests, just seeing what their plans are. And I think I do a pretty good job of listening to them to see what their real goals are. So yes, if that's the case, I definitely would talk to her. You could give me her number or whatever. I know her recruiter as well if she's coming out of your area. And just want to make sure the recruiter is tracking, because sometimes recruiters don't understand the goals of these kids as well. So I kind of bridge that as well. It's kind of not what I do as a RU, but I understand how miscommunication can end up being something these kids don't want and they can't back out of it. So just, reach out to me.
Yes, sir. And forgive me for interjecting, Sergeant Major, but I was an SMP cadet. I actually lived that life that you're talking about, sir. So I don't want to give an entire life story, but when I was in high school, I had a 1.9 GPA, and the only reason I got into Virginia State was through prayer. A lot of prayer from my grandmother. And when I got to Virginia State, I knew I wanted to serve, so I did the same thing. I enlisted in the U.S. Army, and at the time I was an SMP cadet. So even though I enlisted in the Army, when I got the ROTC contract, I never got a scholarship. But my third year, after I completed my camp, I was able to get a contract. That contract that I had was voided. That bonus that I took, I had to pay back. But I tell you, sir, it was extremely, it was worth it. It was beneficial. And if you want to have an additional session via Zoom outside of this, sir, please feel free to send me an email. And if I'm available, I would love to talk to the prospective cadet for Virginia State. And I will let her know. You still get, she doesn't take the Minuteman or the National Guard scholarship, but if she goes there, she works her tail off. Like I said, so I had a 1.9 when I got accepted. But my freshman year, I had a 4.0 as a computer science major. And I kept that up, and I started getting scholarships from other departments. And those scholarships add up to the point that when it comes back to you, sir, it comes back as a refund check. So you can sustain yourself for those semesters if you plan it out right, while going to drill, getting $300 a month, using your tuition assistance and your GI Bill, getting additional funds. So there are multiple ways to skin this cat, sir. And I would love to talk to that young cadet or any other cadets you may have offline at another time. So if you set up a date and a time, sir, I'll definitely be there. And Lieutenant Chestnut has something she wanted to ask, sir.
Hey, excuse me. I'm sorry for interrupting. I would like to thank everybody for your advice. It really impacted me and everything. And it does make me have consideration about what I want to do. But I already know I'm going that route, so I'm not really going to change. But, thank you for letting me know and everything. And I will take into account about the college and everything, because that's semi-important to me as well. But I have to go to work, and I didn't want to just leave. And I didn't plan on being up here, but y'all got me really interested. And I just want to thank y'all for all the advice and everything y'all gave me.
All right, bro. Take care.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Chestnut.
Take care, man.
Yeah, I just wanted to hit on that payback. So I did SMP, and then my partner, he also did SMP. and he went active duty. I stayed guard. So when we take the state tuition from the Virginia National Guard, if you get active duty, you have to pay back the money you took from the Virginia National Guard. So it's not, I mean, it's beneficial because like he was saying, you get a lot of money as a lieutenant. So he already paid back all that money. But just so that cadet knows, like if she took like $5,000 from the Virginia National Guard, she's going to have to pay it back. And every state's different. So like Louisiana, you will meet other people in different guards, like Louisiana National Guard. If you take their state tuition and then you was a guard and then you switch to active duty, you don't have to pay it back. But you know, Virginia's Commonwealth. So if you take any money from Virginia National Guard, you do have to pay it back.
Hey, sir, thanks for bringing that up. We're 3 minutes out from wrapping it up. At this time, are there any additional questions? I know we have a few JROTC cadets online. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go with the closing comments then. Sorry, Major, you have anything? Excuse me, Mrs. Orr?
No, I do not. I just thank you for having me on this forum. I put my information in the chat for anyone. If you have anyone that is wondering, contemplating, whatever, just please feel free, reach out, give me a call. You know, I look forward to doing more of these in the future and also connecting with more students in the area with the JROTC. Thank you.
Colonel Pape, sir, you have anything?
No, again, I think what you guys do at Virginia State is great. Even though I've transitioned from Hopewell to Prince George, I look forward to continuing our relationship with one another. Still have a couple of cadets that I know very well at Hopewell that could end up over there at Virginia State. There's a couple of young ladies especially that have decided to go Virginia National Guard, and then hopefully next year or midway through this year, depending on what their dates are, we'll end up at VSU. So Hopewell had an amazing tradition of cadets going there consistently year after year. Nick Brownsy's a great example of that. You know, Latoria, there's so many of them. You know, regardless of not being at Hopewell, I hope to help facilitate that and then transition that sort of relationship to Prince George. Bottom line is that, you know, bringing together all these different perspectives and voices and being so open with offering your contact information and then having some really amazing examples of high-ranking mentors to pave the way and explain why this is so important and this is kind of part of the steward in the profession is really amazing. So I appreciate you guys reaching out to me and including me on this.
Sir, thank you. Thank you. Sir, Colonel Harris, sir, do you have anything?
Yeah, I just want to thank you, especially the Virginia State ROTC department. To me, this is just absolutely outstanding. When I think about the gentleman who's made his decision, to me, there are two things that was important. You know, I can see he has a strong faith. And number two, he has mentorship. And so one of our challenges is to get to people earlier, right? I mean, I know from experience that you got to start talking to kids in the 8th grade. If you start talking to them in the 11th grade, it's probably too late. So one of the great things about this program is I think as we move forward, that's really the population we want to get to. Sometimes we think, well, why are we talking to kids that early? Well, the reason why, because they have parents too. They have grandparents, and he's following in the footsteps of, you know, tremendous. So we're not going to influence, but that's great. He has faith and he has mentorship. And so I think that's all we want people to have is that insight to know what about the decisions they're about to make. So I just want to thank, you know, all of you, especially the ROTC department, Ty, Eric. This is absolutely sensational. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Closing comments. Hand it over to the commander, Colonel Black, sir, PMS.
Hey, thanks. Hey, sorry about that. I got the cadets behind me, the VSU Trojan Battalion behind me. Hey, guys, y'all want to say anything? Y'all want to say who or something? All right, these guys are pumped up. They out here about to start their 12-miler. We're out here at the Petersburg National Battlefield. Hey, Ty, I just want to say thank you again. This is an awesome forum. Sorry, I was kind of in and out trying to get these guys here to get us started, checking rucks, checking boots, make sure everybody's feet got the powder. Blah, 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 water, Gatorade. We're excited. We're pumped up. Hey, for real, this was a great forum. A lot of great information was put out. If you have additional questions, feel free to reach out to myself, reach out to Keith Forth. Lieutenant Colonel Pate, thank you so much for those words right there. From the JROTC side of the house, I definitely want to get in contact with you as a new PMS and speak to you as well. So, but no, thank you so much for those personnel that participated. And I'm looking forward to doing this again in the future. And
Take some pictures, sir. Get some pictures.
Hey, I'll use my iPhone 3 and take some great pictures.
Yeah, your flip phone. All right.
My Razor phone.
Right.
Oh, sir. All right. And once again, thank you for attending the first, but not the last VSU LPD ROTC event. All right, homecoming series. We're looking forward to doing this again next quarter. As the information comes out, sir, we'll make sure we do a better job of reaching the JROTC at least a month or 2 months in advance so they can put this on their long range training calendar. Hey, thanks again. Hey, for the rest of the panel, we're going to take this opportunity to reset at 0940. Hey, come online for a test call, 0945. We anticipate starting with the ROTC cadets. Any questions?
Do we log in on the same form, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right.
Say that time one more time.
So 0940, please log back in for the second portion. 0945, we begin. I'm gonna mute my camera and mute my microphone because the room's the same room. So see you all again at 0940.
Who?
What 0940?
It's about 7 minutes from now.
May, it's for the ROTC portion. So what's gonna happen is current ROTC cadets in the program will be on. You're welcome to stay on. Some of the things